Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Sunday and we are going to continue on with this Halloween page that we are coloring out of Dark Delights and Demons coloring book. This is a coloring book that we found in the airport during our trip, and we are using the Caran d'Ache Luminance colored pencils. Hello Mandy, welcome back. I'm glad you were able to locate the channel again and join us. Hello, Callie. Hello, Jeanette. Hello, Alex. Hello, everybody. Hello, Dawn. Welcome, welcome. And welcome to all of those out there in Lurker Land. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Just one second. I'm going to cough. There, is that better? I had hit it so that I could not cough, and yeah, I muted for a second so I wouldn't cough in your all in your ears, and thought I had hit unmute, and I did not. Sorry about that. Oopsie. And get this nice and sharp because we need to get into some tight areas. Okay, good. I'm glad that it's all better now. And I'm not hacking in your ear, so it's all good. All right, gonna zoom you in just a touch more. Wrong way. There we go. That's better. And get into these darker areas. No, I'm not feeling poorly. I swallowed and breathed at the same time, which, does not work well. Makes you cough. I'm surprised it hasn't made me sneeze yet, because that's usually the outcome of that is I start coughing and then I start sneezing. So the color we're using right now is olive brown. Over top of the olive brown 50%. Hello, Jeanette. And that does happen, absolutely. We need to put down all the layers. One of the things that I do find with backgrounds especially, if you are at that point where you've got as much color on the page that the page can handle, take your blender to it and see what it looks like, and then add a little bit more over top of the blender. Sometimes that white spot that's showing through can be blended out with your blender. I do find that the blender is a fantastic tool, especially for large areas and paper that has as much color on it as you could possibly put on it. All right, and then the next color we're going to use is this one here, which is the raw umber. Well, I hope that the doctor is able to help you with that sore throat there, Dawn. I am so sorry to hear that your throat's sore. Ouch. Just bent my fingernail backwards. That kind of hurt. Hello, Angela. You've been coloring feathers all day? Yeah, feathers are kind of like leaves. You start coloring them and you can't quite stop, but you sit there going, okay, can I stop coloring feathers now? We're going to use the raw umber in the darkest areas of our shadows. And up against the pleats as well. Like so. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch it again. I fell asleep. I'm terrible. I am the worst friend ever. I am so sorry, Angela. Now I'm going back over it with the olive brown 50% and just filling in and brightening that color. Like so. Yeah, I am. I ate the working woman. Yes, I did. And then for the patches, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the patches on the hat. So this is brown ochre. And then we're going to use this one, a little bit of burnt sienna. Castle Earth. Okay, we're leaving the edge open there because I'm going to be adding a little bit of yellow in these areas coming off of those pumpkins in the background there. And then we're going to go back over it with the lightest color here just to blend it all together. Like so. Alright, and then we're going to take a little tiny bit of medium cadmium yellow, and we're just going to put a little bit on here and a little bit on here for that glow off of that pumpkin there. Now we've got some pumpkins down here and some pumpkins down here, and that glow will be coming in down at the bottom a little bit more. Alright, now for his shirt, I am going to go with, I need this one, and let's just start with this one, and then we'll come in with the brown grays. Actually, this one. And this one. Now we're going to do his shirt as a very dirty white shirt. So we're going to start with the raw umber 10%. And we're going to put a base layer of it. And I'm just going to put this base layer on the entire shirt. Except for the patches there. Okay, that's that. Okay. Just making sure I have all the areas with this light coat of it. Yeah, the Lumis are doing really well on this paper. they're blending well and they're actually building up. Hello, Shannon. Yeah, definitely got to ring the bell if you want to get the notifications, absolutely. Otherwise, you don't know when Angela's on. You can't secretly watch her and fall asleep like I do. I'm terrible. Hello, Nanamo. And hello, Shannon. Yeah, yeah. You would be in bed. Unless you're a night owl, and then it won't be so bad. Hello, Taylor. And hello, anybody that came in that I completely missed. Because my head is down and I'm coloring. What? What am I guessing about? Awesome. Well, I am happy to have you here, and I am quite sure the rest of the community is happy to see you in other streams as well. Oh, nice. Well, that should be fun. Absolutely. The coloring community is a fantastic community to keep company with. Okay. So I'm just working the shadows and the little bits of dirt into the creases of his shirt. And then we'll come in with the darker shadows. Hello, Kim. Welcome, welcome. There's been a few parts of the community that I do try to avoid so that I don't stress myself out. And I don't do drama, so I avoid it like the plague. I have enough problems in life. I don't need to have somebody else's insecurities put on me. I have enough of my own. Yep, it does. It is so hard sometimes to walk away, especially when you're trying to prove yourself. When they're saying things that just aren't true, and you feel that the need to defend yourself. And sometimes just trying to defend yourself, you end up being sucked into the drama of it. And I found that that's the game they like to play. They like to suck you into the drama of it to defend yourself. And sometimes you just don't need to. You don't need to, defend who you are. The people that will see you for who you are will either help you and defend you for you, or will just accept you for who you are. And those are the people that you want around you. So, and that's what I do is I stay close to those that just accept me for who I am. If you don't like who I am, that's fine. You have that right. But don't be, attacking who I am just because you don't like me. But they will. And you just got to walk away from that. All right, so there's our shirts done on that color. Now we're going to go in with a really dark color. Oh yeah, everything's fine. We were just talking about the different parts of communities and different people that try to sabotage communities and try to sabotage and bring other people down. It's all good. I was just saying that I avoid those types of situations as much as I can because I just don't like drama. Nobody's doing anything. It's all good. Just a conversation. Now this color is raw umber 50%, and it's going to be our darker shadow area coloring. Nope, no, no. Oh my goodness. Squirrels! Squirrels! I like squirrels, but not in my house. Well, that's not true either because I have Wilma. So she looks like a little squirrel sometimes. But she's meant to be there, so it's the rodents that I don't like. I don't do rodents at all. They freak me out. It was terrible. We were in a hotel and I was sitting there looking at my phone and I looked up and this mouse comes scurrying out from under the bureau. It's like, oh my God, we're out. Let's go. They gave us a different room. It's like, I cannot sleep here. I'm sorry. Luckily, it was for just one night, so. Oh my goodness. Take care, Dawn. I think I missed that part. Yeah, no, I don't do rodents. Mm-mm. I did miss this part of the sleeve, so we're coming back with that sepia 10%. Yeah, spiders don't bug me as long as they stay out of my bed. I don't like spiders in my bed because they bite. But they don't bother me in the house. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Yeah. Hello, Catherine. Welcome, welcome. You're fine. We're just coloring shirts. It's okay. Yeah, I would have been freaking right out if I got a bee in my hair. A wasp. It would have been just, yep, nope. I'm also allergic to them, so they freak me out really bad. Not sure what freaks me out more, the wasp or the possibility of getting stung and having to have a needle. Yeah, I'm allergic too, so. The bug themselves doesn't bother me once if it's just flying around, but once it gets on me, yep, no. And like I said, I don't know if it's a fear of the bug itself or just the fact that I really don't want to have a needle because I don't have any epis because they're expensive and they expire after 3 years or 2 years, something like that. And when you pay, $200-300 for something, just to sit in your purse to waste, you choose not to get them the next time around. Ooh, now I'm just going to go back over it. Just blend that brown in a little bit. I'm going to take that white and we're just going to wipe off the white because it's got some purple on it. I'm just going to blend everything with the white, giving it that little bit of brightness in the shirt. Yep, she would. She would come over and get rid of all the wasps for me. It was awesome. And much needed. Because, yeah, I don't do wasps. All right, now for the patches here, I think we're going to do the color of the cape for the patches on the shirt. So we're going to start off with that olive brown 50%. Yeah, she was awesome. She never got stung once. I was always worried that she was going to get stung, and she did not. Now I'm using the olive brown. Okay, absolutely. Well, get some hot water on you, relax a little bit. Hope to see you before we go. Get that stress level down. All right. Yeah, that too. It does work. Okay, there we go with the patch. Yeah, it really does. All right, now we're going to do his hands. And we're going to start with this color. They're not going to be as bright yellow as this. This is just the base color. We're going to tone that down with the darker colors. And this is yellow ochre. All right, and then we're going to use this one, which is brown ochre 50%. I'm just going to sharpen it. And she is always a good help. I love having Shannon in the chat because she is very knowledgeable and doesn't have any problems telling people off when necessary. Thankfully, she hasn't had to do that in a while. Yes, she is the knower of all things. I know that because we had to do that with my mom. When she had her stroke, her heart would start going really wonky. That's what the doctors told us to do with her. Just tell her to pretend like she has to poop. Yeah. Yeah, I love ice packs, especially when a panic starts. When my heart starts racing because of a panic, I use an ice pack to bring it down a bit. Okay. Yeah, I never knew why it made me feel better, but you're right, and it's retraining the brain to go out of flight mode. All I know is it just always made me feel better, and it kept the panic sweat down. All right, and then we're going to use, where is it? I've lost the brown that I would use, which is silly. There it is. Now we're going to use a little bit of the Castle Earth. Yep, it's crazy what the body does when it goes into that panic mode. I became extreme before I moved to the United States. I used to have panic attacks all the time, and it became, really bad. I became quite agoraphobic, where I couldn't leave my house without having a panic attack. My doctor told me to pack up and move to the United States because I noticed that I did not have those panic attacks as much when Bob was around. So he calmed a lot of my panic attacks down. So he made me feel safe. So the doctor told me to come here where I felt safe. Hello, Della. And shortly after moving here, the panic attacks stopped to a point where I could actually go outside. I still have them, but not as bad. And not to a point where I don't want to leave the house. Yep. Workable, healthy solution. Move in with my husband. It was definitely the best solution. Now I'm just going back over it with the yellow ochre. Blending those colors together. Okay. And then we're going to do the bands, and we're going to do those in browns. So we're going to grab let's do these two. So we're going to use sepia 50% and sepia. Hello, Helen. So working with the sepia 50%, number 906. First, we're going to do the same thing on the rope belt as well. just coming through really lightly with it as our base. It is not nighttime here. It is actually bright and sunny out right now. And then we're going to come in with Sepia 407. We are on the Pacific, in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Alright, and then we're going to actually take a little bit lighter stance on it here. And we're going to come in with a little bit of this one. Just going to come in with a little bit of dark flesh, 40%. And we're going to use that as our blender. And then we're going to come in with the dark. Yeah, it's about mid-afternoon here. Oh, I straighten my knee out again. Thank you, Catherine. Oh, sorry. I'm going to move you down a little bit after I finish up this part here, and then we'll move down to the rest of the belt and the rest of him. So we're going to come back through with this one. And then we're going to slide the camera down a little bit. Just so that I'm not completely way off the counter here. Wrong way. There, that's better. All right. Now the rest of his cloak and his pants are going to be done pretty much the same as this. His pants are going to be this color. His cloak is going to, the rest of his cloak is going to be this color. So I think we're going to move on after we finish the belt here on to something else. Just so that we're not only doing him. Like I said, this is probably not going to get completed. This will probably be one of those work in progresses that we will have to do at the end of the month or the start of next month. But I do want to get at least the start of 2 different pages done this month. I do want to get at least this one and another page done in the Halloween spirit. And hopefully I can get them both done this month. Next weekend I won't be here. So, you know, we only have 3 weekends this month to get these done. So, yes, lots to color, lots to color. All right, so there is the belt. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and we're going to choose another area to color. All right, so there he is so far. Like I said, his pants are going to be in the browns. The rest of his cloak is going to be in the purple. Where do you want us to go next? Do you want us to do the house or work on the lower pumpkins here? What do you guys think? Hello, Mama Mona. The house? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to zoom you back in, and we're going to get into the house area here. Oh, wrong way. This way. Alright. Now, just going to think for a couple of minutes here. Give me a second. Now this looks like brick to me with a wood entryway there. And this looks like wood. What do you guys think? Or am I cray cray? Well, we already know the answers to that one, but you know. Okay. So we're going to do these as, we're going to start it off with a gray tone. So we're going to do violet gray to start. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do it as a creepy house, so I'm going to do it as crumbling, falling apart, and kind of dirty. So we're going to start off with the violet gray, which gives us that little bit of that red brick color. With a kind of that grayed stuccoing to it. You know, if you look at really old red brick, it tends to have a lot of dirt and grime and gray and dust and everything built up in the crevices of it. So that's what we're kind of going for here. Hello, Calamity. Oh my goodness. Well, don't knock yourself offline. Don't be a klutz. I don't want you to get hurt. I'm glad it's just offline, not off a ladder or anything like that. Okay, that's a stick there. All right. Okay, and then we're going to take this one and a little bit of this one and a little bit of this one. So up here in the darkest shadows, we're going to use that Payne's Gray here. And just a touch of the red. And I'm going to take that violet again. And we're going to blend it together. Thank you. Now we're going to take the black. Like so. I'm putting the shadow of this cover here over top. And that's what I'm putting the Payne's Gray down for, on these bricks in particular. Trying to keep it fairly uniform, because this has got a straight edge to it. And then I'm going to bring in that little bit of red for the little bit of the brick color showing through. Hello, Noelle. Good night, Jeanette. Have a great sleep. And then we're going to take the black. And then back over it with the violet gray. Just like that. Alright, then we're going to take the Payne's Gray here. Put some shadows in for the cracks. Yeah, be careful with those straw hands, yeah. Especially around all these lit pumpkins. Like the one on his head. Although I don't think that one's lit, I think that's just evil glow. So I'm just coming through with the Payne's Gray, putting in the shadows on the bricks, and then I'm going to come through with a little bit of red, then I'll come back through with that violet gray. And the red color that I'm using is Carmine Lake. A little bit of the Carmine Lake. Yeah. Yeah, we're not moving. Bob didn't get the promotion, so we're not going to be moving. So no, we have not moved. Okay. It's a bad thing, but that's okay. We will survive. Yep, it's going to have something on it. I don't know if it's going to be a big blood drop or if it's going to be just a rusty axe, a rusty skeeth. I can never say it properly. Seath. Sigh. Going back over it with the violet gray, blending all those colors together. So there's our brickwork. Now we're going to do this part here on the roof line. So we're going to grab this one, French gray 10%. And then we're going to grab sepia. Thank you, Callie. Autocorrect never comes when you need him, just when you don't want him. And then we're going to take sepia. I'm going to turn the book. All right, and then we need the black. That part. And oops, we didn't see that happen. That did not happen. You didn't see it, didn't happen. Well, that's good. Welcome back, Kim. I hope that you're feeling better and your heart settled down. And I'm glad you have fresh air now. All right, and then we're going to go back to that French gray 10%. Or let's go a little darker. We're going to go French gray 30%. Just to give it that blend. All right, and then up on the top here, we're going to take that brown. Absolutely lurk away, darling. I hope you feel better soon. Nothing worse than feeling trapped in somewhere. I know that feeling all too well. I do find when I feel trapped in things, especially small rooms, like showers and stuff like that, getting out into a larger space, of whether it be outdoors, a patio, something, can help get rid of that feeling. Yeah, she was feeling trapped in the shower in the bathroom. And then we're going to come back with the French gray. Like that. Yeah, yeah. I know that feeling all too well. You did. All right. And then this area up here. And then we're going to use black. Hi there, Yana. Welcome home. I hope you had a good day at work. Put your feet up, relax. About another half an hour of me coloring dark colors. Now I'm using some black. And back to the French gray 30%. Like so. Hello, Sue. Welcome, welcome. There we go. Thank you, Shannon. Shannon has now caught you all up on the conversations of the day. So I'm just putting a base coating of the French gray on the siding of the house. Now that looks like it's a stump that is sitting on, so we're not going to color that part. All right, and then exactly. That's exactly what we're doing. We're sharing our lives with each other. So that was French gray 30%. Now we're going to use sepia. Then we're going to use black. Black really does not like being sharp. And I'm going to come back in with the brown. Hey, squirrels are, when they jump out of a place in your house, that's scary. Um, you are perfectly justified in being afraid of that. Yes, go ahead, ask Tanya about squirrels. Tanya is not fond of squirrels. But when they jump out of a place in your home, I'd be freaking out too. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to make the house look like a old, dilapidated house and make him as bright as possible, because he's going to be in the forefront, of course. And the house is supposed to be an old house, so trying to make it look as old as possible. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, gotta turn it a little bit here. Nice. So some of these areas I'm going to black out, kind of like if the shingle had fallen off. I'm going to do the same thing on the roof line as well. All Now we just got this little bit here left to do on the siding, and a little bit of wood left here, and then we've got the roof and the window. We've got about 20 minutes left. I think we can get the house done today. Hopefully. Nice. Next Thursday, I think we have company, but we'll see what time their plane lands. So. We have people coming in from out of town. And then the black. It is all things spooky. Alright, now for the window sash, we're going to go with the French gray 10%. And then we're going to dust that off, and we're going to grab this one, French gray itself. going to take our black. Nobody's noticing. It's fine. So I'm going to use the gray here on the windows. And then we're going to use the black. Yeah, Shannon's prompts are fantastic for giving us those ideas that we don't have and, giving us inspiration to do pretty much everything. I love Shannon's prompts. I don't do nearly enough of them. All right, so there's the face of the house. Now we're going to do the roof line. And we need this gray. They do. They help so much. You can arrest, I don't think you police. I think you do really well without, with not getting too, it has to be this way type thing. You know what I mean. All right, so I'm using the French gray 10%. And we've got some wood up here too. So that's also French gray 10%. And then we're coming in with the sepia. And then a little bit black. Yeah, I've got some books I need to go through and find pictures in because I don't color in them enough. But I don't color in a lot of my books enough lately, so. And then I need this one. All right. Oh my goodness, Angela, I have quite a few too, so I'm not used to you having 9 of them though. All right, now we're working with slate gray. This is just our base. Okay. Then we're going to take this one. All right, now we're going to take Payne's gray. Well, I might do a not complete November. For all those ones that I didn't complete. You can do a not complete November with me. All right, now I'm going to do one in the center here that's missing. One down here that's missing. And here that's missing. And then we'll do a jagged one here. Then we're going to take that gray again. Where is it? Here it is. So ah, yes, that's a good one too. Yeah. Deep Dive December. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next roof. We're going to pick out some to have been blown off. So we're going to go with this one. Is broken. This one's going to be missing. That one's missing. And this one's missing. Oh, let's do this one here too. We'll do this one as broken. Okay. So this page is definitely going to probably end up being a whip. I will try to work on it a little bit, because there are some aspects of it that you have already seen done, so like the pumpkins and the rest of him. But it will probably be done as a work in progress. I need this one. Alright, so I'm coming in with a little bit of a lighter gray, so this is steel gray. Just because that area there, I think, is going to get a little bit of light coming off the skyline. Same with this area here, like so. Then we're going to come in with that darker gray. Through there. And a little bit of black for the roof line there. Alright, there is our house done. Now I'm going to take that black and I'm going to put some of the lining back into the roof line. And then we will call the roof done. Telling you, the black really does not like having a sharp point. There we go. Alright. I'm going to zoom you out because it is time for me to go. Just so we can see what he looks like so far. So there he is so far with our house in the background. I will finish up his legs and his cape. The legs are going to be the same color as this part of the cape. This part of the cape is going to be the same color as this part of the cape. I'm going to do the pumpkins hopefully offline, and then when we come back to this page, we will possibly have very little left to do on it, but so far so good. There he is so far. Hopefully by the end of the year he will be done. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. Of course, and always remember to like, relax, color, and stay safe. I've already said the like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. That's all you need to do. Make sure you ring the bell. Otherwise, you're going to miss wonderful streams from all of the community people such as True Hue, which is Angela, Shannon, which is Color and Craft with Shiny Blue. All of those people have fantastic channels, and you must make sure you ring the bell. Otherwise, you're going to miss them. All right, guys. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope to see you again in 2 weeks, because next weekend I will not be here. All right, guys. Bye-bye for now.